Hi guys, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to share with you guys how I make a living off of what I create. And more specifically, how I made $5,000 in just 1 month as a student in college selling things that I made on Etsy. So really the main purpose of this video is to give you guys some tips on how to get started selling your own crafts. And this is a topic that I would love to continue as a series. There's so much that has happened since my Etsy days that I won't be able to fit in this video. I've actually gotten my products into a large retailer called Anthropologie, which is under the umbrella of the Urban Outfitters brands. And they've been selling my product for about a year now. It's almost been a year, both in their stores and online. So I'd love to discuss that in another video if that's something that you guys are actually interested in. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see that. Also, I hope you guys can hear me well. I know this is a change of scenery. I normally don't do videos outside, but me and my husband actually just arrived here in Costa Rica, and we'll be staying here for a few months, and there's literally a river right there. So I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but I definitely want to continue making videos while I'm here, no matter where I am. So hopefully you guys don't mind. But to get into today's topic of how I made $5,000 in just 1 month, as a college student on Etsy, to give you guys a little bit of a background. I've always been a creator. I've always loved to make things, especially clothing and fashion. My mom taught me how to sew at a very young age, how to crochet, and so I was always making clothes and costumes and anything that I wanted to make. She would always help me make it. So as I was growing older, I had this idea that I wanted to be a fashion designer. I believe that was in middle school, until I got to high school, and it just didn't seem like I had that much support, especially from my parents. Not so much from my mom, but more from my dad. He was guiding me in a direction of engineering because he felt I was really good at math and science, and he felt like that was a very sustainable career. And it's okay, like, no hurt feelings. I love my dad. I love where I am today because of the guidance that they provided me. But in general, I realized that people don't see fashion design as a sustainable career, especially if you're not from like LA or like New York or some of these big fashion hubs. So I went off to college, and I ended up doing a few semesters of like engineering type of basics, and I knew from the beginning it really wasn't for me. So I ended up changing my major actually 3 different times until I found something that stuck, and that was marketing. And I found that I was interested in that because my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, started his business, and I was helping him with so many different things, and I ended up realizing that the things that I really enjoyed doing and helping him with was the marketing side of stuff, and the branding, and taking photos, and the messaging, and all the strategic stuff. So once I realized that, I changed my major, and that's actually what I ended up going to school for. So all throughout college, I always had like different business ideas or things that I was creating that I was like, oh, one day, you know, I'm gonna launch something. Like, I don't know what it is yet, but like, I'm gonna create my own business one day. And so I always had that in mind, but it wasn't until 2016 that I decided to open an Etsy shop. And I was selling, my very first product that I was selling was actually crochet bikinis. And it's so funny because they're the exact bikinis that I've been sharing in tutorials with you guys. Those are the ones that I used to sell on my Etsy shop. And I used to sell a whole bunch of other ones that I haven't done tutorials on yet. But yeah, I started with crochet bikinis, and then from there I was making other crochet tops, and then I started making yoga mat bags. So they were bags to like carry your yoga mat, and then yoga straps, and then eventually I started selling tapestries that I was buying in bulk, and then I would alter them where I would pretty much cut a piece of them off, create like these hemmed loops, and then put them on the end so people could easily hang them and hang them beautifully on their walls. And so that was actually, well, there's a few other products that took off too, but that was the product that took off on Etsy. was the tapestries. And like I'm telling you, Christmas time is crazy good for business. Like I had no idea. Like I always knew people spend during Christmas. On a business end, you can make so much money during the holidays. It was insane. I couldn't believe it. There was a point in December where when I'd go to the USPS to go drop off all of my packages, I would have to make multiple trips to my car, and I had bags too, to bring all of my shipments into the USPS. Like it was crazy. It was pretty exciting, and it was a pretty amazing experience to be able to grow something from literally nothing. Like I had no dollars, you know. Well, I mean, I had a part-time job and I was reinvesting everything that I would make. It would go into a business account, and that's where I would buy all the materials that I needed to create more products and sell more products. So, but it really started from one sale at a time. So that's kind of how everything got started, a brief summary. But a lot has changed since then. I still sell some of the same products, but most of the stuff that I'm selling now is very different from the beginning. As you can tell, I'm not selling crochet bikinis anymore. I'm actually selling patterns to crochet bikinis, and I'm making tutorials for free here on YouTube. And when it comes to straps, I'm actually selling yoga straps and yoga accessories through Anthropologie and through my own website. So it's directly to a retailer and also directly to customers. So a lot has changed. I will go into that in another video. If you guys want to see that, let me know. But for now, I just wanted a starting point so you guys could get an idea of how this started and how you can start selling whatever it is that you're making. So really the main purpose of this video is to give you guys some tips on how to get started selling your own crafts. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. I think the hardest part is actually getting started. So I came up with 5 simple tips to help you guys get started. So the first one is really simple. It's to ask yourself, what can I create? And I'm sure that many of you guys already have things that you've created, that you've made either for yourself or your friends or family. And I know this because many of you guys have actually tagged me on Instagram, and I've seen what you made, and you've made beautiful, like unique pieces that I'm just like, wow, these people are so talented. So think of that. Think of something that you either have made or that you can make that someone would be willing to buy, and then actually make it. So my second tip is to take photos of what you've created and also write a very detailed description. So for the photos, you definitely want to make sure that you have good lighting, make sure that you show the special features and what makes your product unique, and if it's something that people use, if it has a certain function to it, make sure you show it in use, and make sure you write a very detailed description. So you want to add as much detail as you can about your product. What makes your product unique? Is it the materials? Is it the colors that you use, the patterns? Is it something that your product actually does? Is it how it's made? Let's say your product is vegan, like you don't use any leathers or any animal products, then make sure that you are very detailed in that, because that is a selling point. A lot of people don't take advantage of the description, but truly your description is like your salesperson. Like that is the voice that it's going to communicate everything about your product to whoever's looking at it. So make sure that you use it. My third tip is to open a shop on Etsy. And I suggest Etsy because it's a huge platform. It's been around for so many years, and there's millions of people who use Etsy every single day. And small creators, small businesses could really use that type of traffic. So you're most likely to get way more traffic on a platform like Etsy because they have so many people using it already, and it's branded in a way that, you know, if people are thinking of buying a handmade product, they're more likely to go on Etsy and search it through Etsy than they are really anywhere else. So I definitely suggest starting off with a platform like Etsy, especially when you don't have a brand yet, when you're just getting started, nobody really knows who you are. It's a great place to get eyes on your products. Tip number 4 is going to be to add more products. So add multiple products. If you can, add dozens of products. The more products, the better. You're more likely to get more eyes on your shop when you have more products in your shop. So for example, I didn't actually start doing very well on Etsy until I had about 20 products on my shop. Add new products, play around with it. Know that your first product that you upload and post on Etsy may or may not be successful. Like, it may take several different products for you to find out what works and what people are actually looking for. So for example, for me, I started with yoga mat bags, and then I started adding different types of yoga mat bags. Then I started adding yoga mat straps and all different types of accessories. That's how I started getting more eyes on my brand, and truly that's how I got picked up by Anthropologie, was because of the different selection that I had. So think about the realm that you are in, that niche that you're trying to go after, and create more products that are in that same realm. For example, if you're selling crochet bikinis, maybe do a crochet cover-up, or a crochet top, or a crochet beach bag, or something within that realm of like summer crochet stuff that people are going to be using at the beach or whatever it is. And add more products like that, and you're more likely to get more eyes on your products, and your products are more likely to be suggested, or if they go back to your shop, they see more things that they may like. So that is my 4th tip, is to add as many products as you can. My 5th tip is very, 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 very important. I would say this is probably the most important tip out of all this, and I hope I should have done this tip first because it's that important. And that is, don't let perfection keep you from progress. So I get it. I'm a perfectionist. A lot of creators are perfectionists. We want everything to be perfect. Like, we're not going to share it until it's complete. And let me tell you, that is the first way to burn yourself out. I've gotten burned out so many times because of the fact that my project was never complete. Ever. It'll never be complete. Even when you think you complete it, it's taking you so long that now it's not even in style, or if your style has changed or you don't even like it anymore. So my advice to you, please save yourself from all the headaches of holding yourself to perfection, because it does not exist. It does not exist. Do what you can with what you have right now, and in time, improvement will come. For example, my videos, there's some videos that I cannot even click on because they just make me cringe, like the audio, like the lighting, everything about it. I can't watch those videos, but it's brought me to a place where I can appreciate them now because I continued. So my biggest piece of advice is to not hold yourself to perfection, because it will keep you from growing. So I'm going to leave you guys with those 5 tips to get started. I didn't want to overwhelm you guys, because the most important thing is for you guys to get started creating, take photos of what you're making, and open up your shop and start to get eyes on your creations. Once you start doing that, you'll get into your flow, and as long as you don't let perfection keep you from moving forward, then you guys are going to continue progressing, and it's going to bring you that much closer to actually making a living off of what you create. So I would love to continue doing videos like this. I know that these were very simple tips, and I'd love to go more in depth and continue this in a series. If that's something that you guys would like to see, let me know in the comments below. I have so much more to share. I didn't want this first video to be so dense with information that you feel overwhelmed that you can't even get started. Like, that's the last thing that I want to do, and I know that's how I can feel a lot of times when I'm just overwhelmed with information. It kind of keeps me from even wanting to do anything. So I didn't want to do that, and I would love to continue sharing. Really, this whole video idea came about from a poll that I did on my community tab. I was wondering what kind of other topics that you guys would like to see, and 30% of you guys actually voted for content like this. So I was really surprised to see that 30% of you guys wanted to learn how to make a living off of what you're creating, and that was like very surprising, but also I'm really excited to do videos like this because I've never ever done like talking videos like this, and I think it's really gonna push me out of my comfort zone and challenge me. It already is, like this is very challenging, but I would love to continue doing that. If that's something that you guys want to see, let me know. Also, let me know what stage you're in. Are you just thinking about selling what you're making? Have you actually started? Have you come across any problems in the process? Like, let me know in the comments below. The more information that you guys give me, the better I can create content to your own needs. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for everyone who's left a comment below, who's given this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and stay creating. Bye.